Good afternoon. Super Typhoon Julian slightly intensified as it exited the Philippine area of responsibility. However, it may still re-enter the country on Wednesday, October 2, according to Pagasa. In its 11 a.m. bulletin on Tuesday, October 1, the center of the eye of the super typhoon was estimated at 235 kilometers west of Itbayat, Batanes. It carries maximum sustained winds of 195 kilometers per hour with gustiness of up to 240 kilometers per hour. Tropical cyclone wind signal number 2 is raised in Batanes, Babuyan Islands, the northern portion of Ilocos Norte, and the northwestern portion of mainland Cagayan. Meanwhile, signal number 1 is raised on some parts of Luzon, including the rest of Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, La Union, Pangasinan, Apayao, Kalinga, Abra, Mountain Province, Ifugao, Benguet, the rest of mainland Cagayan, Isabela, Quirino, Nueva Vizcaya, the northern portion of Aurora, and the northern portion of Nueva Ecija. According to National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, the inclement weather brought by Super Typhoon Julian impacted 77,249 individuals, or 22,645 families nationwide as of 8 a.m. on Tuesday. Of those affected, 1,793 were displaced, with 762 in site evacuation centers, while 1,031 took shelter elsewhere. The agency also reports that 19 roads remain impassable, 13 in the Ilocos region and 6 in the Cordillera Administrative Region. Aspiring candidates for the 2025 national and local elections begin to file their certificate of candidacies as the Commission on Elections officially opens the candidacy filing on Tuesday, October 1. The candidacy filing, which takes place at the Manila Hotel, 10th City, has lodged Agri-Party List Representative Wilbert Lee as the first senatorial aspirant to file his certificate of candidacy. Despite the rain, Lee's supporters staged a program outside the Manila Hotel to show their support for Lee's candidacy. Former 2022 presidential candidate Jose Montemayor Jr. has also filed his certificate of candidacy for senator. Montemayor, who is a cardiologist and attorney by profession, said he now has a bigger advantage in winning the elections since he is now more known after the 2022 elections. Meanwhile, Senator Francis Tolentino is seeking re-election in the Senate as he files his certificate of candidacy. Tolentino will run under President Bongbong Marcos's alyansa ng Bagong Pilipinas. As for the local posts, incumbent Bulacan Governor Daniel Fernando and Vice Governor Alex Castro filed their respective certificates of candidacy for re-election. Navotas Representative Toby Tiangco is also seeking re-election as he files his certificate of candidacy at the COMELEC NCR office in San Juan. In Makati City, graduating Senator Nancy Binay officially filed her certificate of candidacy to run as the city's mayor, along with her running mate Monsur Del Rosario, who will run for the vice mayor post. More aspiring candidates are expected to file their certificate of candidacies, which will run from October 1 to 8, 2024. 18,272 national and local political posts are up for grabs on the May 12, 2025 elections. According to COMELEC, the 18,272 were around 200 more compared with the 2022 polls. 75 of these are intended for the first ever Bangsamoro parliamentary elections. The approval and trust ratings of both President Bongbong Marcos and Vice President Sara Duterte declined in the latest Ulat ng Bayan nationwide survey of Pulse Asia. President Marcos's approval score dipped from 53% in June to 50% in September. His trust ratings also went down from 52% to 50% during the same period. On the other hand, Vice President Duterte experienced significant decreases both in approval and trust score. Duterte's approval score fell from 69% to 60%, while her trust score dropped from 71% to 61% during the same period. For other top officials, Senate President Francis Escudero scored a 60% approval rating in September. His trust rating dropped from 69% in June to 56% in September. House Speaker Martin Romualdez's approval rating went down from 35% to 32% and his trust rating from 35% to 31%. The survey, which was conducted from September 6 to 13, 2024, used face-to-face interviews with 2,400 adult respondents. It had a margin of error of plus or minus 2 percentage points for national estimates and plus or minus 4 percentage points for each geographical area. These are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good afternoon.